It has been a long while. It's me again. I am here. It is October 12th, 2017. I'm, as always, still filming vertically just to piss off everybody. I guess I'm starting again. This is actually my third day on a full ketogenic diet. I'm tired. I was warned that as your body starts to go into ketosis, you start to pee a lot. And that was definitely an issue last night, so I'm very tired. Other than that, I'm okay. I miss carbs a lot. For me, before, carbs were a huge part of my diet. I ate them all the time. Biscuits, bread, pasta, even fruits. Not having like apples and grapes is really weird. It's not easy. Everybody keeps telling me if you can make it through the first week, then you'll make it through the second. If you can make it through the second week, you'll make it through the first month, and it just kind of goes on through there. I started, when I weighed myself on the 10th when I started that morning, I weighed approximately 440 pounds. Saying I slipped off the bandwagon would be a huge understatement. I think it's more like I yet again fell for another thing that I thought would solve all my problems, and was surprised when it didn't. But I'm getting to a point where I can't keep this up anymore. I can't continue to physically support my own body. I am constantly exhausted. It's hard for me to move around. Oh god. Sorry. When you've got 4 kids to take care of, who have their own busy schedules, and who need your attention and your help and your love, that's not sustainable. You can't do that. So, I'm used to have cheated by now. Every other time I've tried to change my eating habits, my binge eating disorders gotten the best of me, and I have cheated or, stopped and never picked it back up. Which is sad that I can say that usually that's happened within the first 3 days. That has not happened so far, which I'm honestly in shock for myself. I thought for sure I would have completely lost whatever small handle I had on myself. But I have not. I haven't cheated. I don't know how I've managed to not cheat, but I haven't. I'm not going to weigh myself until next Tuesday. As you can tell, I'm very out of it. I think that is kind of the downside that I'm seeing right now, is that my body doesn't know how to burn what it's got. It's used to burning what it's given. And it's going to take me some time to get to a point where, my body knows what to do and figures out how to burn what's already present instead of relying on what I'm giving it. So until then, you know, my body's seeing this as being, well, you know, you're not getting the probably between 70 and 100 plus carbs per day that it's used to getting. And it's kind of understandably freaking out about that. Right now I'm trying to stay under 20, which I've managed to. I think the first day I started, Tuesday, I think I went over by 1 or 2. Yesterday I know I was under. Today it's 8:44 and I finally just got all the kids to school. So it's just me and the youngest, and I've not eaten yet. I've not had any, I haven't made any coffee. Our coffee maker actually broke. So I've not had any coffee, I've not had any food yet. The downside is that I'm super sick of eggs. I'm still doing a lot of research into, you know, low carb and keto friendly, you know, things like pancakes and stuff like that, so that I don't feel like I literally can't have these foods anymore. But I'm used to the accessibility and speed of using like a box of Bisquick, and I can't do that now, not for me. So I'm kind of feeling it. Mostly just feeling tired. But I have to do this. I have to do something. And this requires a lot more dedication than just adding a supplement and calling it good and trying to convince myself that I don't need to do anything different. And I think that's something that I just needed to come to terms with. So that I kept hoping that there was just some magic thing that I could rely on that would do all the stuff for me that I was struggling with emotionally and mentally. And I've proven to myself now time and time again that there isn't anything that's going to work for me. That there is no magic drug, no magic anything. That it's just me against myself. And I don't know, I've seen pretty much everybody I know says this is not easy, but that it is effective. And there are a lot of people who are like me in that I'm hopefully going to be getting tested soon for celiac disease, because I've been having a lot of issues that all signs point toward, you know, a problem with gluten. And I want to either know that that is a problem or rule it out so that I can move on. But I will say that cutting out carbs significantly and has basically meant getting rid of gluten. And I've noticed that a lot of the issues that I was dealing with, you know, as, you know, day 1, day 2, day 3, are subsiding. So I find that interesting. And I think that's definitely something I'm going to continue to watch, because it's a big deal. Getting enough water for me has definitely been a struggle too. You know, you gotta keep up with your water. You know, I usually should be trying to drink a gallon a day anyway. And unfortunately, I've not even been managing to get in my gallon a day, much less more than that. So that's been a pretty significant problem for me. So, you know, the downside is that can lead to pretty significant dehydration, which, when you are purging a lot of water weight because of a dietary change, you know, being dehydrated, it's going to happen a lot faster. So I need to work on that. That's definitely been kind of an interesting challenge for me with trying to keep up with water, but I basically spend every day telling myself I can do this. If I can make it through the next hour, then I can make it through the next couple hours, which means that I can make it to the next whatever, which means I make it to the next day. I've been very much doing this bit by bit. And while that is a challenge, because this is such a huge change, especially for someone like me who has so many issues with food and who has relied so heavily on a very carb-heavy diet, with a lot of milk chocolate and, just generally very carb-heavy stuff. It's hard. It's really hard. Like, I can't even put into words how difficult it is. It has its moments where I'm just like, oh my god, why am I doing this? I'm just gonna go have like one thing. But I know that with me, if I have just one thing, I will convince myself that I've ruined everything forever, and I'll just come off it completely and not start up again. So, as much as I would like to allow myself some wiggle room, there are multiple reasons why that's not an option and not a good idea. Another one being, of course, that in order for a ketogenic diet to be effective, you have to get yourself into ketosis first, and if you're not doing that because you're consuming too many carbs, then, you're not doing yourself any good anyway. So, while I'm still early into this, at least for the first few months, I don't allow myself anything. And knowing that is kind of rough too, because, naturally you want to allow yourself treats. Everybody's like, oh, you can always do a cheat day. But I know my personality, and I know, I know all of the reasons why that's not going to work, so at this point I'm just kind of working it through, eating a lot of meats. I've got kale and spinach and lettuce and tomatoes and peppers and onions and stuff like that. I'm just kind of playing it by ear and just kind of sticking with stuff that I know is safe while I work on finding recipes for things that I may not necessarily have tried before. I've got a couple of recipes I'm looking at for things like cakes and cinnamon rolls and stuff like that I've been really craving, that use like almond flour. So they're significantly lower carb than using regular wheat flour. So I'm going to make an attempt there. I need to get out of this funk. Once I get through this, I think things will be much better. I think once I've made it a week, I will feel significantly better, and I will feel more competent and capable, which will make me feel better physically too. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't expect it to be fun yet, but I'm following a lot of people that I'm close to who are doing keto, who are doing awesome. They feel better, they look better, they're happier, they're healthier. The health issues that they were having before that were tied to their weight and to their size have gone. I've got friends who they're a year or so into this and they've lost over 50 pounds and they feel better and their health struggles are diminishing because they're getting healthier. And I'm really just looking to be in that position where I feel like I can be a part of my kids' lives and be healthy and feel good. So, I'm thinking I can do this. And I know I'm going to struggle, and I know that it's going to be hard, and I'm probably going to complain, but I can do this. And I think as long as I keep that mindset and keep myself surrounded by supportive people who have been there, who can offer suggestions, then I think that even on the worst day, I'll still be doing pretty good. So that's where I'm at so far. Sorry it's been so long since I've said anything. I know I don't really have like anybody on this channel anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But I feel like if this ends up being, this is something I'm going to stick with and I'm going to do. And I want to be able to have people and myself look back and say, look, this is where I was. This is what it was like. This is how miserable I was, and how unhealthy I was, and how unhappy I was. And now look at how much different things are. So if anything, this is really more of a diary and journal for me than it is for anybody else. So, anyway, if anybody is watching, I hope you remember that if I can love myself enough to take this huge step, then I support you doing it too. And I love you, and I think you're fantastic. And you deserve to be loved, and you deserve to be happy and healthy, and there's no reason in the world why you don't. Other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day.